It was a crisp morning in downtown Denver. The streets buzzed with energy, workers clutching steaming cups of coffee, couples strolling arm in arm, and the occasional street musician filling the air with melody. Among the crowd was a familiar face, Elon Musk, the visionary billionaire and CEO of Tesla and SpaceX. But today, Elon wasn't attending a high-profile meeting or unveiling a groundbreaking innovation. He was walking toward a modest cafe tucked away on a quiet street corner. The Wormhole Coffee Shop, his favorite retreat from the chaos of his world. As Elon approached the cafe's entrance, something unusual caught his eye. A man standing motionless by the door. His clothes were tattered, his face lined with years of hardship, and his gaze fixed on the ground. Just as Elon was about to step inside, the man's voice cut through the morning chatter. "Hey, you there." Elon froze, his hand on the door. The voice wasn't that of an eager fan or a curious bystander. It carried a weight, a tone that spoke of desperation and purpose. He turned to face the man, whose eyes met his with an intensity that was hard to ignore. "You're Elon Musk, aren't you?" the man asked, his voice trembling but firm. Elon nodded, his curiosity piqued. "That's me. Can I help you?" The man took a step forward. "I used to be someone too," he said, his voice heavy with emotion. "I was a sheriff once. Served my country, protected my community. But look at me now. Just another forgotten face on the streets." For a moment, Elon was at a loss for words. He'd read about homeless veterans and the challenges they faced, but meeting one in person was different. There was a rawness, a humanity, in this man's story that struck a chord deep within him. "What's your name?" Elon asked, his voice softening. "Franklin. Franklin Klein," the man replied, lifting his head. 30 years as a sheriff, and now I can't even protect myself." The pain in Franklin's words was palpable. Elon could see the remnants of pride in his posture, but it was overshadowed by the weight of his current reality. Here was a man who had once dedicated his life to serving others, now left behind by the very society he had protected. Elon took a deep breath. "Franklin, I can't claim to understand what you've been through," he said, his tone earnest. "But I believe everyone deserves a second chance. Maybe I can help." Franklin's eyes widened in disbelief. "Help? What could someone like you possibly do for someone like me?" Elon smiled faintly and handed Franklin his business card. "Meet me here tomorrow morning. Call this number and we'll talk more. I can't promise miracles, but I'll do my best." Franklin stared at the card, his hands shaking. For a moment he seemed lost in thought, as though weighing whether to hope again after years of disappointment. Finally, he nodded. The next morning, Elon's day began early, as usual, but today felt different. As he sipped his coffee and reviewed his schedule, his thoughts kept returning to Franklin. Would the man call? Would he show up? Just as he was beginning to doubt, his phone buzzed. An unknown number flashed on the screen. Elon answered immediately. "Hello, this is Elon." "Mr. Musk," came a hesitant voice. "It's Franklin Klein. You told me to call." Relief and a strange sense of excitement washed over Elon. "Franklin, I'm glad you did. How are you?" "I'm... I don't know," Franklin admitted, "but I'm here, like you said." "Good," Elon replied. "Stay where you are. I'll be there in an hour." A life transformed. When Elon arrived at the cafe, Franklin was waiting, seated at the same spot by the door. His appearance hadn't changed, but there was a spark of hope in his eyes that hadn't been there The day before. Franklin, Elon said, sitting across from him, I've been thinking about your story, and I want to help you rebuild. But it's going to take some work from both of us. Franklin frowned slightly. Rebuild? How? Elon leaned forward. I've got a plan. First, I want to offer you a job, a chance to use your skills and experience. Second, I'll provide you with a place to live, somewhere safe and stable. And third, he added with a grin, I've got a little surprise. What followed was a whirlwind of events that would change Franklin's life forever. Elon arranged for Franklin to join a community outreach project at Tesla, where his leadership skills and life experience would be invaluable. He was shown a modest but welcoming new home, a place he could finally call his own. And then came the surprise. A brand new Tesla Model X, symbolizing not just mobility, but a fresh start. As Franklin stood outside his new home that evening, holding the car keys in his hand, he felt an overwhelming mix of emotions: gratitude, disbelief, and a newfound sense of purpose. Conclusion: Elon Musk's chance encounter with Franklin Klein wasn't just about changing one man's life. It was a reminder that even the smallest acts of kindness can ripple outward, creating waves of hope and transformation. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible tales. Together, we can keep the spirit of hope alive.